Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's very hard puzzle. And I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but we'll see. Today's puzzle is called Chaos Construction Surround Sums, and it's by Pixel. And here are the rules. Divide the grid into 9 regions, each consisting of 9 orthogonally connected cells. So, that means that they have to essentially share an edge. I love chaos construction rules actually because I don't know, I find them super fun. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but this is a valid chaos construction region, right? Because they're all essentially connected to each other through edges, right? This would not be valid because this is not connected to the rest of the cells through an edge. It's only through a corner. Similarly, this is not valid either because even though they're connected to each other by an edge, they're not connected to the main region with an edge. So this is not a valid constructed region here. Enter a digit into each cell such that each row, column, and region contains the digits 1 through 9 once each. So that's his typical chaos construction rules. Some cells contain number clues. For each such cell, consider the up to 3 by 3 area centered on that cell and including the cell itself. Okay. In the finished puzzle, this area will be partitioned by the region borders into one or more blocks of cells such that each block is contiguous within the area and all cells in each block belong to the same region. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so all of these contain number clues, right? So then it says consider the up to 3 by 3 area centered on that cell, including the cell itself. In the finished puzzle, this area will be partitioned by the region borders into one or more blocks of cells, such that each block is contiguous within the area, and all cells in each block belong to the same region. Okay, let's continue. The numbers are the sum. Okay, that's where it is. The numbers are the sums of the digits in these blocks in no particular order. I see. So that's saying these are 4 specific regions, which add up to a certain amount. These are 2 regions, which add up to a specific amount. This is 2 regions, which add up to a specific amount. This must add up. This must have 4 separate regions, which add up to a separate amount. This has 3 regions, which add up to a separate amount. And this must be 4 regions, which add up to a certain amount. Interesting. This is 2 regions that add up to a certain amount here. And this is 2 regions that add up to a certain amount. So, okay, let me sort of explain how this works. You could have something along the lines of a region here and then a region here, right? This is the only important ones because we're looking at this cell. Because this is broken into these regions, since this is 2 cells, it can never add up to 26. So it would have to add up to 7. And these 4 cells would have to add up to 26. So you could have something like, I don't know, 3, 4, and this is 2, 9, 7, 8, right? So this satisfies this numbering because in the surrounding 3 by 3 area, which is only 2 by 3 because we don't have another row here, this one of the regions must add up to 26, which it does, 2, 7, 8, 9, and then the other region must add up to 7, which it does, which is 3 and 4. So that's what these number cells mean. And for example, this, all right, let's use this one. This says there are 4 regions in the surrounding 3 by 3 area. And one of the regions must add up to 18. Another must add up to 17. One must be single digit, and the other must be a single digit. That's what you'd have. A question mark may stand for any digit, but 2-digit numbers may not begin with a 0. So similarly here, this says it has 4 regions in the surrounding 3 by 3 area. One must add up to 5. The sum of the digits in that region must add up to 5. That's in the 3 by 3 area. There's another region there's another region of which the 3 by 3 cells, the cells in that region which are in this 3 by 3 area must add up to a single digit. Another region also must add up to a single digit, and then the last region must add up to a double-digit number, which cannot begin with a 0. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. So, this is interesting. We know in this 2 by 3 area, there has to be 2 regions, one of which has to be a 2 with a single digit, and the other has to be a 5-cell region, which must be part of a different region, obviously, which adds up to 30. This cell cannot be the singular cell, obviously, because it would be blocked off by the other region. So this cell is by itself. We're going to mark it as medium gray. Ooh, that's bad coloring. Cannot see. Similarly here. Okay. Let's go to this region. This has 4 regions in it, all of which must add up to 7. You cannot have 3 sets of 2, right? Because if you had 3 sets of 2, the problem is that you could not have 4 regions there, right? You could have a 2, and a 2. Therefore, it must be 1 set of 1, which is a 7. I guess it could have 2 7s in it, too. It cannot have 3 7s. It could have 2 7s potentially in it. And you could have a set of 3 digits adding up to 12 potentially. Or it's a set of 12. That's interesting. Okay. Huh. If you had 2 7s, it would have to be here and here, right? Or here and here. So let's work through what that means, what that implies. This one's better. So if this is 7 and 7, this is part of its own separate region. So it cannot be part of any of these. And to form another region, it has to go around this area. One of these is 2. One of these is 2. So this would be 7 in a separate region. We're going to make these 2 here. And these has to be... It cannot be 2 here because then these would be the same region. But the problem is it can never actually get back without blocking these 2 regions. So that's not going to work. So it has to be here, and it has to be here. Okay. Therefore, this is a separate region. This is a separate region. It has to go here. You cannot have a... This says that you have... Oh, interesting. Okay. Either way, that's interesting. Okay. So, this then has to be part of the same region because we have two regions here, and we already have those already dictated by these. Because of that, we know this has to add up to 26, and this must add up to 7. But this is the same region, so this can never add up to 7 here and then 7 here, right? Because then these two would be the same digit, and they would be in the same region. So this must add up to 12 here. So this is either 3, 9, or it's 4, 8, right? This is 3, 9, or 4, 8, which makes this 3 or 4 here. So this adds up to 7, 3, or 4. These three digits add up to 26. So this is still valid. These add up to 7. It could be 1, 6, 2, 5, or 4, 3, 4. That works for both. These two are then part of the same, are part of this 3 by 3 region. Huh. That's interesting. Huh. So this must be all filled with yellow and red. That seems feasible. So this has to go here. This adds up to 26. So these three would add up to 19. Okay. That all seems feasible. I'm not sure if this is the best way to approach it. Whatever this is, though, has to be at least 4 regions. That's the interesting part, right? What about if this is 7? If this is 7... Oh, that's interesting. This is 7. This... So the other one seemed to work okay. This would have to be 2 cells. This would have to be 2 cells. This would be green. This would be pink. This would be yellow. Ah, that's not possible. Because this 7... Oh, wait, no, it has to be a separate... Well, no, it's not possible. This red, how does this red extend as a region? It has to go all the way here. But the problem is, since it's already 4 digits, it can't add up to 7. So it would have to add up to 26. Therefore, this yellow region would have to add up to 7. But it's blocked by the pink. So you can never have a 7 here and a 7 here as that way. You can't have 7 and 7 here or 7 and 7 here, because then this region is blocked by essentially this region, right? Because it'll never be able to get all the way around this region to connect to here. And same here, right? This would be blocked by these digits, and you cannot get all the way around without blocking this in with just 9 cells. So you could have a 7 here, a 7 here going out this way. You cannot have a 7 here and a 7 here. That's interesting. You just can't actually have a 7 I guess you could have it as a 7-5, maybe. Hmm. Okay, so the possibilities then are this is 7 and this is 7, and this goes out this way. You cannot have a 7 here, 7 here. You can't have 7 here, 7 here, or 7 here, 7 here. You could have a 7 here, and then like 3, 4 pairs in everywhere else, right? That is feasible. Wait, no, you can't. You cannot do that. You have to have 2 sevens. If you had 3, 4, 3, 4, and a 7, what digit adds up to 12? Nothing, right? You have to have a 2 cell 12 region in this 4 cells. So it does have to be 7 and 7. And you cannot have, again, you can't have 7, 7 here, right? Because how does this would have to be part of a region by itself. And any way you try to cut it, that would cut this region off into a region that would not be 9 cells length. So if you tried this way, you have a similar problem, right? This cuts that way around here, and this would be too small. Or I guess it would have to go this way around here, and this would be too small. And then you would have another region here. That's another problem. So we tried to have 7 here and 7 here, and that doesn't work. So this must be 7 here, and this is 7 here. This, again, cannot go this way because that cuts this region off from that because it's too long to basically form a region around these region. So this must be a region. So this actually is accurate. This is essentially what it has to be. Therefore, this must be the 12. Okay, so this is all what we came up with. This is 3 and 4. This has to be a 3 and 4 to add up to 7, because this can never add up to 7. This then, so we're going down the correct path. This has to go here. This is all red and yellow here. This is its own region. This must go extend further to be green. Let's see. We have 5 already here. This is 3 and 4. This must be with 8 or 9 to add up to 12. Because it cannot be 7 here and then 7 here, because they're in the same region. These 3 digits must add up to 19. This 3 by 3 region adds up to 48. So we have to have duplicates, but we don't know what they are. Can this red part ever add to 28? Maybe. Actually, yeah, it can. If this is 9, this could be 10 here, and then this would be 17, and this would be exactly 28. Oh, that's interesting. So this is 1, 2, this would have to have 6 cells then. It could always add up to 20. Either of these could add up to 20. What else? Hmm. So the green is definitely part of this 3 by 3 area. We don't know how much it is. Okay. Hmm. 20. So you have a sum that adds up to 20 somewhere for the red and the yellow as a possibility. We know this is already 12 here. So that means the yellow is at least 32. So it would have at most 13 left. So the yellow is at least 20 or 28. That would mean what's left over is 5 or 13. Hmm. If it's 5, it has to be the digit 5. If it's 13, it could be any combination of digits. The red, this is at least, so this could be a 9, right? What can this digit not be is kind of the question. Well, okay, so this is specifically 2 through 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, right? Because it's at least 19. So this cannot be 1 already. Can this be 2? If this were 2, that would mean this is 8 and 9, so that's 24. So this could be 5 other digits from 2 through 6 to add up to 20. So that does work, actually. Okay, not as limiting as I thought it would be. These digits must be 1, 2, 3, no, 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, and 9 as possibilities. For the rest of row 8. Um, hmm. Hmm. Okay. Um, can this actually be yellow? If this is yellow, how does this actually get out? The red can never get out, right? Because the yellow has to connect. And it would be too long, I think. Well, maybe. Could the... Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So can it actually connect all the way around back here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, so this cannot be yellow. This has to be red. This could be yellow. If this is red, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that seems viable. But this cannot be yellow, because the red would have to, how does the red extend all the way? It would have to get 9 somewhere. And either way, so this is the minimum 9 possible. Which would force, okay, so then again, that's red. This is not red, this is yellow. How does it extend? 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's no way it can get around. So this has to be red. So that's 6. We have 3 more. We don't know where it goes though. Um, Green has to go here. It probably is the 20, but we're not sure. Can it be single digits? That's kind of, I don't know. We know this adds up to 7. Maybe. 3 digits? 3 cells? Possibly. It's unlikely. Let's put it that way. Okay. So if it's 3 that way, that's not great. Okay. Uh, what limitations do we have? Not sure. Okay, well we don't know actually. It could be that way. I was thinking that we'd tack this corner, but that's not great either. Hmm. What else do we have? Um, what digits can this be? 289. It cannot be 3, so it cannot be 379 because we already have a 7 in the region. It could be 469. 289, 469, and then 568 are the only possibilities. Interesting. So it's 289, 469, or 568. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. How many? We know this is at least 17 here. This is 12. So added together, what does that leave? 17 plus 12 is 29. Well, actually, 17 plus 28 is 45. So then 12 plus 20, that leaves 13 in the red and the yellow regions. 13 as the most, which means that's at most 4, but we don't know. Hmm. Um. If the 28 were part of the yellow. Oh, that's interesting. So if the 28 were part of the yellow, all of these would have to be yellow. Huh. Interesting. Therefore, you would have a 5 left. It could be 5 right there. But what does that mean for this, right? These three would be 20. This would be at most 16. I think that would be too much. Um, so if this yellow were 28. Oops. Um, that means it would have to be essentially 8 cells. So you would have a ninth cell, which would have to be 5, right? Because you have 28 here, and then you have 12 here. So the 5's left. You cannot be 1, 4, or 2, 3. So it would have to be a 5. And it could be here with this 5. This would be either 2 or 3. You have at most a 9 doubled. So this could be 9 plus 10 plus 11 here. That would be 30. So this would be 37. And this would be 8 at most. Oh, so that doesn't work. I mean, I guess it could. You would have to go this way, essentially. You would have to go red here. And this would be 8. So this would be 3 at least. Sorry, at most. Right, because we tried that with a 9. This is 2, 8. This would have to be 4, 7 if that's the case. Okay, so yeah, we're going through this way. It cannot be the full amount of red here. Because if it were, the problem is that this only adds up to, well, no, it cannot have 3 digits that would add up to 5. You could have 2 digits adding up to 5, but if you have the full 3 digits, it has to add up to at okay, what are the possibilities? Say we had 3 digits here or whatever, right? This could be 9, and then this would be 10, and this would be 11. So this would be 30 here, which means 8 here at the least, at the most. What if we had 8 here? If this is 8, this adds up to 15. This is 11. So it would have to be 5 and 6. These two would add up to 12. So it'd be 3 and 9. And then you'd have 1, 2, and 4. So you could go this way. And 1, 4, and then 2. That actually does work. Huh. Okay, so that's viable. What else can you have? Can you have 6? Probably not, would be my guess. These add up to 13, so these must add up to 13. It's either 4, 9, or 5, 8. If you add 6 here, this is adds up to 14 here. And it cannot be 6, 8, 6. So it would be 5, 9, which would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. So you cannot have that be the case. But 8 and 9 does work as long as the red goes up here. And then this would be 2. This would be 1 or 4. That's viable. So, okay. In the case of yellow being 28, that means this is 28, this is 12. We have a 5 left somewhere. This then has to go all the way through because this requires all 6 digits because we need a 1 digit left for a 5. So this would have to go this way. If we tried 3 through, it doesn't work. But we can go essentially, it would have to be. So 9 could potentially work, right? If you have 9 and this is 2, 8 or 4, 6. This adds up to 11. It cannot be 4, 7, cannot be 2, 9. It could be 5, 6, or 3, 8. So either way, 6 and 8 are removed. If we tried going this way, it would have to be also 1 and 4 to add up to 5. So either way, this would be 1, 4. So this would be 1. This would be 4. This could not be 4, 6. It would be 2, 8. So this would be 5, 6. And this would be 3. So that works either way there. So this would have to be 8 and 9 if that's the case. Or this is the full 28, which means this has to be 6 digits. So this one, okay, so this cannot be red ever. This has to be yellow. This is always yellow because there's no other way to get out. This could actually be yellow though. Or sorry, red. Because if this is 28, then that would force, okay, so if this is 28, that would mean these, whatever 6 digits here have to be 28, and this would be at minimum 17. So this is, okay, so either way, this has to be 8 or 9. We know that for certain. So then this would be, okay. If this is 8, it can be 2, 9, or 5, 6 here. If this is 9, it has to be 2, 8, or 4, 6 here. So this is 8 or 9. What is this 6 cell cage? If that's the case. Or it could be here. We don't know, right? Well, the red would not continue on here. We know that for certain. So we know yellow can never be this one. The red would have to be, could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can it ever go this way? I don't think so, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. If we try to do that, this could be 1, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, so it cannot extend to here. So this would have to be red if that's the case. This potentially could go this way, though. So no matter what, one of these regions is a red, right? Hmm. This cannot be 3 or 4. It's 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm wondering if this can be Can this be 8 and 2, 9 here? I don't think so, right? These digits must add up to 12. And oh yeah, no, cannot be 2, 9. Okay. Whoops. So, what are the choices? If the yellow's 28, that means this adds up to 12, this adds up to 28. The remaining digits in the yellow region are 45 minus 28 and minus 12, which is 5, which cannot be 1, 4 or 2, 3 because we have a 3, 4 pair already in the region. So it must be a single digit and a 5. This must go here. It cannot go all the way here. If it's 9, no, not there. If it's a 9 here, that means this adds up to 10. This adds up to... So this could be 2, 8 or 4, 6. So if we have 2, 8, this would add up to 11. It cannot be 2, 9, 3, 8, or 4, 7, so it has to be 5, 6 in that case. This would be 1, 4, and 3. So this would be 1, 4, 3 there. Because this would have to add up to 5. And it can't, because it can't add up to 9 here. If this is 4, 6, this would be 9. 4, this would have to be 3 and 8. So 4, 6, 3, and 8. You have 1, 2, 5. But the problem is none of them add up to 5, 9, or 16. So this doesn't work either way. So it has to be specifically 2, 8, and 9. And this has to be 5, 6, if that's the case. Oops. If this is not 9, say this is 8, then this would have to add up to, this would be 15, so this would be 11. We tried, I think, 2, 9 earlier. If we add 2, 9, this adds up, this would have to add up to 12 without a 9, 8, or 7, so that's not possible. So this has to be then, if this is 8, this has to be 5 and 6, right? Oh, that's very interesting. Huh. Well, if this is 5, 6, these two would have to add up to 12. And without a 8 or 7, so this would be 3, 9. Which could still leave 1, 4, and that would be 2 or 3. So those are the options for if the yellow is. So it's 2, 5, 6, 8, 9. For the red. And this would be 3, 9, or 5, 6 here. Either way, we know 9 has to be one of these 3. Because this could never be 9 anyways. So if the yellow is 28, that means this has one of these 3 has to be a 9. Oh, that's interesting. Well, what else do we have? If the red is 28, this has to be 9. And this must contain all the rest of the reds. I'm going to pause and go to the bathroom right now. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. Oops, I forgot to pause my timer. Oh well. Let's see. So we know this is specifically 8 or 9. The red has to be in this region somehow. If it's 28, this has to be 9. This is either 2, 8, or it's 4, 6. We're not sure which. There's no guarantee of what these are. So this could actually be a wide variety of things. So we cannot guarantee anything here. We do know that 9 has to be one of those 3 cells, though. What other regions could this be? Okay. Wait. Okay. I think I've seen something. What happens if this red region is the 28? That means it has to have 6 in this region, which add up to 28, which means there's 3 in the yellow region, which adds up to 20. What are the possibilities to add up to 20 with 3 and 4? You cannot have the yellow here. You cannot have... I guess you could have the yellow here. That's possible. Okay. So that... That does... That does throw a wrench into things. Okay. Well, this is the only one that works then. Okay. So say you didn't have that. Say we tried to make it like here. Be these yellows. So these are not yellows, this is red. If this is 3, it would have to have 8 and 9 with it, which would break because you can't have... Oh, no, you can't have... No, you can't have 3, 8, and 9 together. Okay. Because we already have an 8 and 9 in the region. You cannot have 3, 8, and 9 add up to 20. Because the 8 and 9 in the region would break this cell. Because this is already 8 or 9. So that does not work. So 3 could not be here. Therefore, this would have to be 4. This would have to be 3. But since this is 3, this would have to be with 9 to add up to 12. Well, what can you add up with 4 without a 9 to add up to 20 with 2 other digits? You can't. The most you can get is 4, 7, and 8, which adds up to 19. So therefore, red can never be the 28. Red has to be the 20, which means the yellow is a 28. Since these add up to 28 and this adds up to 12, the remaining digits left over are 5. You cannot have 2 digits adding up to 5 because we already have a 3-4 pair. And to have 2 digits adding up to 5, it would be 1-4 or 2-3. So that doesn't work. Therefore, you require the remaining yellow cells. So these are all yellow. And they must add up to 28. Which means it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the remaining digit is a 5 somewhere. This red has to go this way. So we know this. This cannot be 3 or 4. So these 2 must add up to 5 because of the logic that I came up with earlier. So this is 1, this is 4. This has to be 2 or 3. This can no longer be 4. So this is either 9 with 2 or 8. And therefore this is 5 and 6. Or This is 8 with 5 and 6, and this is 3 and 8. Or 3 and 9. Yes, 3 and 9. So this cannot be 1. This cannot be 1 here. So 1 has to be one of these 3, which means this can't be 1. This can't be 6. What else are we missing? 7 has to be one of these 3. That's not helpful. This is 5, so this adds up to 2. Now, can this ever be... Well, it could be 1 and 3. Okay, for these 3, you could add up to 18. So it could be 5, 6, and 7. That's possible. Or it could be a single digit. We don't know which. For this set, it's either you have a 9 by itself, and you have 3 other digits which add up to 16. Or the 16 is 2 digits, which is 7 and 9, and the other 2 must be 2 digits adding up to 3. It must be... interesting. So we know, okay, so one thing is we know this is a region. So, oops, we're not going to do that. We're going to do edge. This has to be a region by itself. This is the completed region. This is a border. This is a border. We know there's a 7 here. So if this 7 were not, well, it could be part of the 16. Okay, so... Okay, one thing we do know is this sum is a certain sum, right? It's 45 minus 7 minus 1 and minus either 2 or 3. So it's either 45 minus 10, which is 35. 45 minus 10, which is 35. Or it's 45 minus 11, which is 34. Either way, this has to be 10 or 11. What does that mean? I guess this could be not part of this region at all, right? Okay, so if it's 2 and 2, it has to be 2. It could be 2 that way, 2 that way, or 2 this way, 2 this way. If it's 3 and 1, I don't think it can ever be this way. Maybe. We know there's a 1 here, and it's with 2, 3, and 7. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 7. This cannot be 9, right? Because these 3 digits are the only remaining digits here. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 7. We know there's a 5 here, but we don't know what the other 2 remaining digits are. Can you ever have 3 adding up? So, okay, if you have 1 and 3, that works. Can this be 2 and 2? This would have to be 9. And this would be... Okay, so if you have 2 and 2 here, that doesn't work. Because this can never add up to 16 if that's the case. So if you have 2 and 2, you have to have 2 here and then 2 here. Right? Which means, yeah, so that does potentially work. So the possibilities here are 2 and 2, or it's 1, 2, 3 with 1, or 1, 2, 3 with 1. We don't know. Okay, if you have 1, 2, 3 with 1, that's 9. What would the other ones be to add up to 16? You could have 1, 7, 8. You can never, okay, so you would always have to have a 7. Okay. So if that's the case, if this is 16 and 9 as two digit sums, it has to be 7, 9, and then this is something else. So 9 has to be one of these two, if that's the case. And then 7 has to be one of these two, right? 7, 9, 7, 9. If you have a 3-digit number with a 9, one of these is obviously a 9, and the other one has to be either 178. It cannot be 277. Oh, actually, what are the possibilities? Yeah. You could have, again, either of these are 7, so this can't be 7 here. One of these would be 9. You cannot have 2 and 7 because that doesn't work. So this cannot be 2 and 7. It could be 1, 8, or 3 and 6. So those are the possibilities to add up with 2 and 2. Okay. Therefore, this would have to be 1, 2, or 3. And we don't know what this is. Therefore, this would be 5. That's interesting. Hmm. Um, what about if you have 12? Sorry, 3 digits. One of these would be 9, and one of these would have to be 7. You could have 178 again to add up to 16. You cannot have 277 because that would be a repeat, obviously. And you could have 376. So these are always these digits. So it's either 178 or 376, adding up to 16. Which means this does have to be a 5 no matter what. So this is 5. Could be 3 this way. So 2 has to be one of these two here. And this is 9 always, so this cannot be 9. Cannot be 9. Which means, where is the 9? Well, okay, any of these 4 could be 9. That's fine. So therefore, one of these 4 is a 9. One of these 2 is a 9. One of these 2 is a 7. This is 5. If it's 3 this way, oh, that's interesting. So, okay, it's either 2 this way and 2 this way, or it's 3 here and 1 here and 3 here and 1 here. That's the possibilities. Either way is if this is 2, that means this one has to be the one that is 25. Right? That would mean whatever is part of here has to be part of this. Well, not necessarily. Okay. Hmm. Okay, what else do we have? 2 has to be one of these two, so this can't be 2. Hmm. One of these is 5. So since one of these is 5, this can never be 5. And this can't be 2. Oh, that's interesting. This can't be 2. So what? Oh, well, okay. One of these 4 is a 2. But that's not. I thought that was one of these 3. Hmm. Oh, this is a region. So this is blocked up here. Can this ever be... Oh, this has to be a 1. So this can never be part of 5 and 1 as a region to extend out this way. So this is always essentially part of one of this larger region, right? Because this can never be 5 and 1 because 1 has to be one of these 3 cells here. So this can never be 5, 1 that way. If you try to make it 5, 1 that way, that doesn't work. So this is part of the larger region. So if this were 2 here this way, that would add up to 9 at least. So therefore, that's part of the larger 25 region here. If this is 3 this way, it's also part of the larger 25 region. So it would be connected to here. If it goes this way, this 9 means it has to be part of the larger region. So either way, this is always part of this larger region. So you always have 11 at least here. Okay, so can you have 7, 9? Okay, so you cannot have 7 and 9 just here. Why? Because the problem is this is a separate region here. And therefore this would be 7, 9 here. This would be, that would be 16 at least. This would be 21. I guess you could technically, you could have 1, 3, 1, 3 extend here. And then this would be 6. Okay, so that's possible. Um, So 795 adds up to 21. Then you need an additional 4. This would have to be part of that blue region. What about if we went this way? I guess it could go something like... So this would be 9 then. This would be 7 with 1 or 3. This would be 1, 2, or 3. And you could extend it here. Hold up. Okay, so say... Yeah. Say this was the other region, right? I don't know. We'll make it... I don't know. Dark. If this were the other region, it would have to extend to... Well, I guess it could just extend that way. And then this could be part of blue. It would have to be because... So blue always has to be greater than 3 digits. So blue is always at least 4 digits because it adds up to 25. And 3 digits, unique digits, can only add up to 24. Hmm. So say we went this way. Then this would be 9. This would be 6, 8 with 1, 7. This would have to be part of the blue region. And you would have 25. This would be part of some other region. You would need something else to translate. Could be here, could be here. So either one would have to be a 6 here, if that's the case, if it's a single one. It could not be double, actually. It would have to be a single. So one of these is 6, which means none of these could be 6, which means this would have to be 6, so this would have to be an 8. So this would be 8, this would be 1 and 7. This would have to add up to 25. One of these would be 6. Oof. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. How is this ever 2? Can it ever be 2? It can never be 2 this way. And again, so it's only 2 digits or it's 1 digit. It can never be 3 digits because the 25 region has to have 4 digits at least. So, can this ever be 2? No. Because it has to be 1, 5 or 2, 4 here. So this is always part of blue also, right? Because if it tries to be part of another region, it has to be this way, but it would have to be 2, and that's not allowed. So this is always part of the blue region. Which means could be here, right? It could potentially be 2, 4 this way. Oh, but then this region would be blocked. So if this is 2, it had I guess it could be 1, 5 that way? Yeah, that's also possible. So it could actually go this way, and that's 1, 5. But either way, this one would be part of blue. Okay. Yeah. So, can this ever be 2 here? Well, it could be 1, 5 here, or one of these is 6. But either of these could be 6. That's the problem. Jeez. Uh. I mean, technically, you could have something like that and go through here, and that would be 3. What this cannot be, though, is this cannot be blue. This has to be a separate region, right? Because if this is not blue, what can this be? say this was blue, right? Then all of this is the same region. So this has to be a separate region. So we're going to mark it as orange, I guess. So where can this go? It cannot, even if it goes down here, it has to extend out here. So this is part of orange. It doesn't necessarily have to go that way. It could go this way, and that goes that way. That's possible. It could go something like that. That could be 1 and 5. It can't just go here, though. This could be 9 by itself, which makes this 8, and then this would be a 7. This blue could go that way, and then this could be a 6 with something else. We don't know. Actually, let's not make this orange then. Let's make this... Actually, I'm going to make it light. But we don't know what that is, though. Hmm. Huh. What else do we have here? It cannot be 2 and 4. We know that for certain. It could, because that blocks off the blue. It could go something like that, which would be 1 and 5. That's very possible, actually. Because we know 5 actually has to be one of these 3. Hmm. Ah, this must contain part of blue and part of light. This could be 2, 1 here and then extend out that way. That's quite possible. But we don't know. Um, or it could just be a 3 on this one somewhere. We know what this blue has to be a double-digit number. It cannot be anything less, right? Because even if you have to have 5 at least here. It could be 6 here. But these 2 digits, if you had them, well... Okay, so say it was something like this. You had 1, 7, this is 2, this is 8. Right? So that would be 16 plus at... Okay, let's take the maximum. 1... Even if you took the maximum here, it would be 7, 9, 3, and 5, right? Actually, yeah, we know this is 25 at most. Say we added a 7 here, I guess. That would be 32. This would then have to be at least 13 for these. Even if you had 7, 1, 8, and this was 3, this would then be... Actually, is that even possible? So if you have 7, 1, 8, so say this was a 9 here, and this was the... Say you had 7, 1, 8. This is 1, 8. This is at most 3. So this is 9 plus 3. Oh, that's not possible. Okay, that's where I was stuck and where I should have seen. If this is 7, this always has to be 1 and 8, or this is a 9. No, this has to be like 1 and 8 or 3 and 6, so this adds up to 9 no matter what. This is 3 at most. This is 9, plus you have 8. Well, one other digit, I guess it could be a 9 here. Huh. That actually does work. Never mind. Or this is 3, 6. No, okay. Yeah. I guess, no, it could be, okay. It could be 1, 8, this is 2, and then this is 9. That is possible. Hmm. Ah, but this can't be 9 here. Okay, there we go. If this is 9 added together, so say this was 7, and this is 9 added together no matter what. The problem with that, I mean, sorry, 9 at most. The problem with that is this has to add up to, what would this add up to? This is 8 at most, right? So that you could have 9 plus 8, which is 17. That means this has to be 8 or 9. If this is 3, 6, this would be then 2, 5 at most, which would force that to be a 9. So this cannot be 3, 6 to add up to 9. But if we try to make this 1, 8 and this 3, the problem is you can't have an 8 here because you have a 1, 8 already here, adding up to 9. So that's only assuming this, if it's these 3 digits are the same region, or these 2 digits are the same region. But what if this is separate by itself? If that's the case, this is 9. 5, 9, 14, which means these 2 digits would have to add up to 11. You could have 3 and 8, which would make this 178 here. That's possible. Okay. Or this could just be 7 here, right? That would make things easier. Uh, hmm. Okay. What are the possibilities again? So this can never be 7, 9 as the light region. So either this is 9 here, in which case this is 178. Okay, so yeah, what are the possibilities? So say this is light and this is the blue. This can never be 9 by itself, because if it's 1, 8, this can't be 8, and this is 3 at most, so therefore this would have to be 1, 8 plus 3 plus 5, plus another 8 to add up to 25, which is not allowed. If it have 3, 6 here, this is 2 and 5 at most. That makes this 11, 16, so we have to be a 9 here, but we know 9 cannot be there, because one of these 4 is a 9. So that doesn't work. So this never can be 7 and 9 specifically as a light. Therefore, if this is light and this is dark, this has to be 7 and 9 here. Oh, that's interesting. That's 21. which means this has to be a 1, 3, 1, 3 pair. But this could be the 1 or 3 because this could be the 6. So in that scenario, okay, so what would this be then? What would this look like? In this scenario, this would be 7. This would be 7. This would be 9. This would be 1, 3, and one of these would be 1, 3, and the other one would be 6. But none of these could be 1, so this would have to be 3, 6, which would force this to be a 1. Therefore, this would be 3 and 6 here. Huh. Interesting. Oh, but that doesn't work because we have a 3, 6, 3, 6 pair here, which makes that a 2, which means 2 cannot be in the rest of this region. Okay, so this doesn't work. Okay. So that does not work as a 7, 9 set. Okay. Well, what does that mean then? That means either this is the 3 digits, and this has to be 7 then. So it's either 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 8. If it's 5, 6, 7, okay. Then this would be 9 by itself, which is fine. Or this could be go around this way. This would be 9. This would be 5. So that's 14. Which means these two would have to add up to... So it would have to be 3 and 8. Okay, so say it was that way. If this is 9, this is 3. This goes this way. This could be 1 and 5. So this would have to be 8. This would be 7. That's 3 in the corner. We would celebrate, I guess, kind of. Ah! This cannot be 3, 5, 8, and 9 because this is 1 and 8. So that doesn't work. This cannot be then the 9 by itself. So this must be part of the blue. This has to be the 9 and is separate. So this has to be 7 because we tried it without a 7 and that doesn't work. This, oh wait, no, hold up. It's not a 3 by 3 region. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to trying this. Okay, so we tried this as 9, a separate one. These two are separate. It cannot be 3 or 7 because it would have to be 3 and 3 to add up to. So this would have to be 1. This would be 7. This would be 8. This would have to be 3. This would be 8. This would have to be 5. Ah, and then 8 would be eliminated from both of these rows, which is not possible because we need an 8 here. Okay, so that's the reason why that doesn't work. So this cannot be 9. Therefore, this must be part of the blue region again because it cannot be... So the 9 has to always be here. We cannot have 7, 9 here because of what we ran into problematically here. Right, because if this is 1, 8, this is at most 3, 5, but it requires an 8 to add up with another digit to add up to 25. And if this is 3, 6, this would have to be 2 and 5 at most, which would require a 9, but the 9 cannot be there. So this is always 9. This is part of a separate region then. So this is a separate region. This cannot be a 7. This has to be the 7 because we showed that this, we tried to have a 7 here. This doesn't work. One of these is a 6 then. So one of these is a 6, which means 6 cannot be here, or 6 cannot be here. Therefore, we have a 1, 7, 8, 9 quadruplet in the row, which eliminates 1, 7, 8, and 9 in the rest of the row. This can't be 6, so this can't be 1. One of these is a 6. Therefore, this cannot be 8. This must be a 2 and a 6, which forces this to be 8, which makes this a 1, because this is a 2, 6 pair. So this is 1, which means this cannot be 1. These digits add up to 5, 8, and 7. Well, that means these digits are 2, 3, and 6. Because one of them's a 6. The other one must add up with 2 or 3 to add up to 25 with the 5, 7, and 8. 5, 7, and 8 adds up to 20. 2 and 3 and adds up with 2 and 3. So we now have a 2, 3, 6 triplet in row 7, which eliminates 2, 3, and 6 in the rest of the row. This is now not a 3. This is not a 4. This has to be a 4 or 5, which means this digit must be a double-digit sum. So it has to, we don't know. It could potentially go something like that. That's possible. One of these is a 6, and the other one is a blue, but we're not sure which. And so both of these regions have to be double-digit. And there's another region which must have 1 digit or 2 digits in it. Okay, so this is 2 or 3. This is 2 or 3. We have to have a 5 in one of these as a yellow. This could technically go that way, so we can't finish off that. Wow. This is definitely very hard. Must end in a 4. The other one could be any double-digit number. Uh, hmm. Okay. What does this mean? I'm not sure. Oh, this has to... Okay. I do see something. This set of digits must be at least 17 or 18. Technically... Okay, it cannot go that way. That's weird. So I think this has to be part of the region. At least. And it has to be at least... this is a single digit, so that's fine. Technically, this could be a single digit, but it's unlikely. It's possible. Oh, well, no. So this is 17 or 18. So this set of digits, if it's yellow, if it's all yellow here, this has to be 5, 6, 7. If it's just 2, it cannot be 17 or 18, so it would have to add... So then, okay. So if it's 3 digits here as a yellow, it has to be 5, 6, 7. If that's not a yellow, it can't add up to 17 or 18. So it would have to be either 1, 2 or 1, 6 or 7, 2. So this can never be 8 or 9 here. Oops. It has to be 1 or 7. And this is either 5, 6, 7, or it's 1, 7 or 2, or it's 1 with 2 or 6. That's still a wide variety. Um, this also has to be 17 or 18. We know that for certain. So if it's 18, this would be 4 or 5. If it's 17, it could not be 4, 4. It would have to be at least... I mean, technically, it could go all the way around here. No, it cannot, because it needs another 17 or 18. And if it goes around here, the problem is none of these can be 3 digits. And 2 digits, you can't have a 2-digit here as an 8 and 9. Oh, this cannot be 5, so this would be 4 and 5. Oh, okay, so this is either... There we go. What is this digit then? It has to be... This has to add up to 17, and we know it goes here. It cannot go around here because it would block off this to add up to 17 or 18, and it would block off that from adding up to 17. So, if this is 18, it has to be 4 here and 5 here because one of the 5s is here. Or if it's 17, it cannot be 4 and 4. It has to be 3 and 5 here. So either way, this is 3 or 4. This has to be a 5. Which means this can't be 5. This is 4, which makes that a 3. This can't be a 3 anymore, so this must be 4. So this must be 18. So this cannot be 3 digits adding up to 17, which means this has to be 8 and 9. Which means 5 is one of these. 8 and 9 is here. This is 4 and 5. It must be a double digit. This is a separate region. So it cannot be any part of these regions. I guess we'll make this gray. Actually, I guess this could be pink. I'm thinking this is probably pink. So we're going to make that pink. It could actually be a separate one, but we don't know. This is 4, 5. This is 3 and 4. The remaining digits are 1, 2, 5, and 6. This can't be 5, though. So this is 17. This has to be 1, 6, 2, 1 or 2, 7 or 2. This digit's the same as this. Okay, so we can clear out the corner cells. So we know this is A, and that's an A. Interesting. Where does the blue go here? It has to go through the 2 and 3, but then it can no longer, like, I guess it could be 1 or, it can't be part of the 1 or 2, because one of the 2 or 3 is here. So it must contain a 6 here. So this can no longer be 6. That's interesting. So we have a 6 here and a 6 here. And so it's either blue both here or blue both here, because it has to connect either way. We have to have 3 as a separate region somewhere. So these colors are the same. These colors are the same. Either way, then, well, whichever color is here has to continue here, right? And if it's here, it has to continue here. There has to be a, okay. So that means this region cannot be the 3 elsewhere. Okay. Can it ever be 1, 2? No. Because if this is 1, 2, first of all, this is always part of this region no matter what, right? If this is part of blue, this is part of some other region extending here. If this is not part of the other region, this is blue, it still must extend here, right? Because you have to have 2 more cells. So this always extends here no matter what, which means this cannot be part of another region. So the other region has to be one either here or here. And therefore, it must be a 3. Because if it's both of these, the problem is this region gets blocked off and is essentially a 5-cell region, which is not allowed. So one of these is a 3. And is part of a separate region. We don't know which. Okay. Hmm. Right. Because of that. Okay. This cannot be part of a separate region then. One of these requires a 6, and then the other one requires a 6. Because of that, they're both larger than 3. So if this is a separate region, this would not work because this requires something greater than 3. Therefore, this is part of the light region. This is part of the blue region. And these are essentially how it's shown. This cannot be 6. This has to be a 6. This has to be a 6 because it cannot be 1 or 2. And 5 has to be one of these. So this is 1 or 2. This is 6. This is part of a region. This is one of these is a 3. But we don't know which one. And the other one is gray. So one of them's gray. The other one's likely, I don't know, some other region. We're going to make it orange. The orange still could be part of the pink, which could still be part of this. We don't know. This has to extend this way. And this one cannot be part of either of these, so it must extend this way. So that's full. So we know this is a full region. What are these digits? It has to be 4, 9, because those are the only digits remaining for blue. Well, can this ever add up to a 4? I don't think so. 6, 2, and 4 adds up to 12. 6, 3, and 4 adds up to 13. 6, 2, and 9 adds up to 17. 6, 3, and 9 adds up to 18. So the 4 has to be this light cell. So we already have 15. So the remaining digits must add up to 9, right? So it's 20, it's something 4. It can't be 14. It has to be 24. Because you can't add 19 to 15 with 2 digits. So it's either 1, 8 or 2, 7. Either way, 7 or 8 cannot be here. So it must be here. So this is a 3, and this is 7 or 8 here. That's clever. Wow. Very nice, very nice. This has to be orange. This is its own separate region. This is 7 or 8. We're not sure which one. This is 3. This is blue. Okay, so orange must take up the rest of the region. Because there's only 2 regions here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This cannot add up to 1. Actually, it has to be x plus 1. This is a single digit, so that works for either way. This remaining digits have to be 1, 7, 8. The remaining digits here are 1, 2, 4, 5, and 9. Okay, that's interesting. So what are the combinations for the orange is the question, right? Okay. The combinations for the orange, for these 5 cells, it has to add up to something 1. You could have 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 4 adds up to 7. 7 plus 7 is 14 plus 5 is 19. So that doesn't work. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. You have to have 2 out of 1, 7, and 8. So that's important. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 8 is, so 1, 2, 4, 5 is 12. Okay, so that doesn't work with 7 or 8. So what if you had, okay, so let's try just, okay, let's just do 1, 7. So that adds up to 8. Can you have any combination of these 5 digits? So if you have 1, 7, okay, that doesn't tell anything. Can you have any combination of these 5 digits adding up to something 3, right? Because this is 8. Something 1 minus 8 is something 3. It cannot have a 1, though. 2, 4, 5 is 11. 2, 4, 9 is 15. 4, 5, 9 is 17. Which doesn't add up. So if you have 1 and 8 here, does that work? If you have 1 and 8, you would have to have 2, 4, 5, which is 11. So 1 and 8 is a 9. So something 1 minus 9 is 2. 2, 4, 5 adds up to 11. 2, 4, 9 adds up to 15. And 4, 5, 9 adds up to 17. So that doesn't work. So it has to be 7 and 8 would be my guess, which would force this to be 1, which means this can't be 1. So 15, something 1 minus 15 would have to be something 6. Okay. You could have... So 1, 2, 4 is 7. 1, 2, 5 is 8. 1, 2, 9 is 12. 1, 4, 5 is 10. 1, 4, 9 is 13. 1, 5, 9 is 15. So 1 never works. Therefore, we have a 2, 4, 5, 9 quadruplet in column 8, which eliminates 2, 4, 5, 9 in the rest of the column. This must be a 1, which means this cannot be 1. This has to be an 8 to correspond to add up to a 4 digit, right? So you have 10 plus 14, which is 24. So that works. Okay, so adds up to a 6. 2, 4, 5 is 11. 2, 4, 9 is 15. And 2, 5, 9 is 16. 4, 5, 9 is 17. So that doesn't work. So it has to be... Wait, 4, 5, 9 is 18. Oh, shoot. Hold up. Okay. I messed that up. Okay. So, either this is 1, 7, which adds... No, okay. Yeah, no. That has to add up to 3, not 8, right? So if you have 1, 7, that's 8. 1 minus 8 is a 3 as a remainder. If you have 1 plus 8, that's 9. 1 minus 9 is 2 as a remainder. and then you have 7 and 8. So this has to be 7 and 8. That's 5, which leaves a 6 as a remainder. Right, so that works. So then this must be 2, 5, and 9, which means this is a 4. This can't be 2, so this is 1, which means none of these could be 1. So this is 2 and 5 here. This is 1 and 4. Okay, so the orange has to be the double-digit number for this 3x3 area, or 2x3 area. The other one could be 10, but if it's if this is part of the other region, it has to be all 3 of these have to be part of the other region. I guess it could be 1, 2, 4, 3, right? That's possible. The remaining digits here are 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8. So this could be 1, 4, 2, 3 here. But then these 2 digits would have to add to a single digit, which would be 2 and 7, which is possible. So that's possible. Otherwise, can 3 digits here add up to something 0? Or can 4... Oh, you can't have 4 digits add up to 0, right? Okay. If this is the single digits... well, it could be these are the single digits too, right? I think this always has to be part of the single digits, right? Oh, that's not true. Okay. If orange is a single digit, this is 2, 7. And then all of these have to be part of the other region, which means this is not 2. This has to be 3, and that's 2 to add up to 10. Because the other digits do not add up to 10. You have 5, right? And you have 2 other digits, which would have to add up to 10, or to 15, or to 5. Only 2 and 3 work. You cannot have... Oh, 7 and 8 would work, too. Okay, so that's 2, 3, or... This is not 7, so this is 8, which makes that 7. 7 and 8. Okay, so those are the possibilities. Never mind. Okay, so those are the possibilities if orange is not adding up to a 2-digit number. If orange does add up to the 2-digit number, you could have just 1 by itself. Oh. Interesting. What do we need? We need, in the orange space, a 1, a 4, and a 6. So, if it does that, it would have to be like something like 6, 1, 4 here, right? Oh, this can't be 1 or 4. So this orange, if this is not part, if these two are not part of the region of orange, the problem is, how does it escape? Okay, so if this orange is a single digit, these cannot be part of the region. So it has to have a 6, and it has to have a 1 and a 4. But 1 and 4 are eliminated by the 1, 4 here. Wow, this is very involved. So orange cannot be the single digit number. It has to be the double digit number. And it needs a 1, 4, and it needs a 6. Okay. Well, how is it going to get a 1, 4, and a 6? It cannot get a 1, 4 here because it needs to extend out here, and then that's the problem, right? So it needs to get 1 and 4 here. So this has to be a 1 and 4, and it has to be part of orange. Okay, so this is, we're going to do the entire boundary so that we can see what's going on. We need a 6. So this could be 2, 3, 7, 6, 8. This is an 8, actually. We know that for certain. So this is 1 and 8. This cannot be 8 here. We need 2, 3, and 7, actually. And the other one has to be a 6 for the orange. Interesting. Hmm. This is 5. These two digits by themselves cannot add up to something that ends in 5 because you need 0 minus 5 to add up. So the rest of the orange ones must add up to something 15 or 25 or 5. It cannot be 5 because this is at least 7. And 2 and 7 doesn't add up to 5. 5 in any digit can never add up to 5, and 9 with 7 or 8 does not add up to 5. 2 and 7, 2 and 8 don't add up to 5. So we need a 6 in one of these two cells. So then that adds up to, so we need 9 with the 6, 4, and 1. Well, 9 with any digit doesn't add up, so 9 doesn't work. 5 with 7 adds up to 12. 5 with 8 adds up to 13. So this must be then 2 and 7, interestingly enough. Which means this can't be 2 or 7. This is 3 or 6. This can't be 7, so this is 8. None of these can be 2, so this is 5 or 9. And one of these is a 6, but we don't know which. Okay, this is 8. This is obviously a different region than that. One of these has to be a 2, right? Because we need a 2 to be in a separate region. 2 cannot be here. So 2 cannot be here either. So one of these has to be a 2 and is part of a separate region. So this region, we're going to make this gray, has to be its own region. And it's either going here or here. We're not sure which. But either way, this cannot be 2. So 2 has to be one of these two digits. Okay. One of these is 6, so it will take up another one of these regions. We have 3 other regions around this square. Don't know which region that is. Can this be part of the green region? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. Can it be part of the pink region? Yeah, it could be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's possible. Actually, it cannot go that way, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That works also. So this could be part of the pink region. Or this could be part of the pink region. Or neither of them potentially could... this cannot be part of this region here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. This is at least 5. Okay, so this cannot be part of the pink region then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you try to go this way, 6, 7, 8, 9, the problem is that this doesn't work then. Right, because it blocks the green. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at most. So one of these has to be a green. We're not sure which, at least. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it has to be 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a separate region than both the pink and the green. And it cannot be the light. So this actually does have to be the pink then, which means this is a green-pink combination. Or sorry, not green, yellow-pink combination. Because we try to, yeah, this cannot be part of the lights. It can't be part of the mediums. It can't be part of the greens. And this cannot be part of the pinks or the greens. This cannot be part of the pinks, obviously. So we know this must be pink because of that. So therefore, we've shown then where that is. Okay. Um, this is 30. So it has 5 digits, adding it with 30. The other 4 digits add up to 15 with a 2. Okay. So either this is 2 or this is 2. What are the remaining digits? Let's look at that in row 1. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this cannot be 2. This can't be 2. These can't be 2. This can't be 3 or 7. This can't be 7. And that's kind of it. What else? Oh, we need 4 regions. The only 4 regions now that can hit, we have one in orange. Light can be there. Pink could be there. And dark can be there. But green cannot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, green actually could be there. So it's either green or pink. Well, Huh. Actually, okay. This can, one of these is orange. The other one, so this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this could be medium. All of these could be medium. This could technically be medium or light. These cannot be orange. They could be medium. Sorry, light, medium, or pink, technically. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this cannot be pink. These cannot be pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This could be medium. This cannot be medium. This has to be a light. Okay. This cannot be orange. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so where can the pinks go? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's not do any of the mediums yet. Okay. Where can pink go? Pink can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or this. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then it can be 8, 9. Or 8, 9. 1, 2, or 8, 9. 8, 9. 8, 9. Actually, it cannot be 8 and 9 here because that would block the green off. So this one can't be 9. So this is the pink spread. This is orange. Light can go up to here or here. So this has to be light also then. There's no, well, okay, no, hold on. This could be light. It could be, this could be medium, we know. Because again, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as most. So this could be light. You could have, this is light, so it's 7 lights. So you could go 2 here. Or you could go 2 here. Or it could go 2 here. That's fine. So this is the extent of the lights. These are the extent of the pinks. Green, we only have 3 actually. Either way, this must be pink. If it goes this way, or it goes this way, right? This has to be pink. Because it cannot be part of yellow, so if we didn't make it pink. So this is always pink. So this could be that way, or it could be, actually this one also has to be pink. So both of these are pink. So green can only go to here. So 1, 2, 3. It could be up to here. So this is fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's the extent there. Or you could potentially go down here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the extent there. Therefore, all of these cells have to be gray. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which means gray cannot be in any of the other cells. So this has to be the orange. This cannot be orange. This is light, which means none of these can be light. Wait. We have an extra here then. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Hmm. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the most. Huh. Huh. That's problematic. That means this has to be green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So none of these can be green. Oh, wait, I'm missing a whole nother region. Never mind. Okay, never mind. I was like, how does that work? Okay, so I can't do that. Dang it. There's a whole nother region that I missed. Ugh. Okay, never mind. Going through this procedure does not make sense then. I thought I had all the regions and I didn't. There's one more region. There's a dark region. Okay. Well, Let's continue then. This is a region. We know we have potentially another region. Dang it. Okay. This. Okay, this does still have to exist. One of these is pink. So therefore, the pink is in this One of these. Green has to be also. So there has to be one other one. Oh, this requires 4 regions. I guess it could be light. Light could actually get there, right? One, no, yes. 1, 2, 3. That's possible. But okay. Orange is part of this region. Green could actually make it all the way there. Okay. But green, well, this could be its own region. Okay, so what if this is not green? Say this was another region. Does that even work? How does it extend? Okay, so this green has to get out here either way. We don't know if it's pink, whatnot, whatever. So then this would have to extend here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is possible. Hmm. Oh. This green needs a 7. If it extended to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it can only extend to here, and there would be no 7 possible for either for the green region. So this can never be green. It has to be the other region or it's light gray. So this is other region or light gray. We don't know which. This green needs access to a 7. So it has to essentially go to here at least in one of these two. Um, hmm. This gray needs access to a 2. So it would have to... Okay. So say we tried to do this way. If we tried to go this way, one of these can only be orange. And we run into the problem actually we ran into earlier. How does this pink get here? The pink can only extend as far as here. The light can only extend as far as here. Therefore, these 5 would have to be part of this region. And none of these could be 2. None of these could be 2. So that can't form a valid region. So this cannot be the dark. It has to be medium gray. So this has to be, because the medium gray does not have access to a 2 then, if that's the case. This then has to be a 2 and is the dark region. So this has to go out here, extend here. The green could go here. This is either green or light. Or sorry, green or medium. This has to be dark. So these are a separate region. We don't know if it extends further. The green has to get to here to get to a 7. But we don't know which way. So this is dark. One of these is orange. So this dark is very likely going to have to be the double digit. We have a single digit already at 6. We could have another single digit in the medium gray or the light gray. Can the the pink can get there. The green can get there also. If this were not pink, well, okay. So we were assuming that this was the last region, right? So that's why that can no longer be the last region. It can't be part of green either because of the 7 that's missing. So this has to be the medium, which makes this a 2. This actually does not have to be a pink. Technically, it still could be part of the dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, actually this doesn't have to be pink. Okay, well, this does have to be pink though, I think. Green cannot enter here. You can't have a light go this way. Okay, well, anyways. Let's just remove the pink for now because we're kind of confused by that now. This can't be a 2. This has to be a 5, which means this can't be yellow. This has to be a 2. Well, if anything else goes there, it doesn't work. So this is pink. We know that's pink. Okay. So this is the region then. This can't be 2, so this must be 6, which makes this a 2. This could still be 1 or 7. That's fine. Because it adds up to a single digit. This is very likely pink, but so this could be pink or it could be dark. We don't know which. One of these is orange. This has to have a 2 outside. It could be here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's possible. This gray cannot go here. If it goes to here, this dark can't exit out. So this, I think, has to be dark. If it's gray, again, this dark can't get out because one of these is orange. If it cannot be light because it can't reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it can't reach. Pink cannot reach 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but then it blocks off the dark. So this yeah, pink can't go there because it blocks that off. Green can't go there because it blocks off dark. So this is dark no matter what. This could be orange or dark. This cannot be orange. So this has to be dark also. So these are dark. It's at least 3 and 5 with a 1. It has to extend out. This has to be the double digit 1 then. Because there's no other way. It has to extend out somewhere. This could be dark or light. It cannot be pink. Cannot be medium. These can't be orange. This could be light or dark. This can't be dark here. So this is 4. Okay, so since this is 4, well, I still could this go that way. That's possible. Yeah. This could be 7 here. Okay, this is 4. Where does the dark get to extended wise? So it could be 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, technically. It could go but this could be medium also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So to here, to here. So this is the extent of dark. Medium. Where can medium go? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But that blocks off dark, so it cannot go that way. Light. Okay, where's light can go to? It can go 1, 2, 3. Cannot block off dark, so 1, 2, 3. It cannot block that way. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. 1, 2, 3 here. Or if it goes this way, it blocks off this region. So it would be just to here. So light can go only here. Green can go 1, 2, 3, 4. This cannot be. Okay, so pink has to get out one of these two. So this can never be green because then it blocks off pink. Green could go to here. So these are fine. These are fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the extent of the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's the extent of the green there. Medium. Where can medium? Okay, where's pink? 3, 4. So it cannot go to here. Actually, it could go to here because dark could go extend that way. So 1, 2, 3. So pink cannot block off green. So it cannot go to here. It cannot go to here because it has to have access to a 7 somewhere. So pink could go here. Pink could go here. This would give it enough access for green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So pink could actually get to here. That's fine. Pink could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it could actually go here. Could actually go here. Actually, no, it cannot go here. If it goes to here, this gets blocked off, right? So this cannot be pink. Same here. If it blocks this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, can't go that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it could go that way as long as gray is one of these, right? Dark gray. You could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this could be pink also. And of course, these could be pink. Medium gray, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those work. 6, 7, 8, 9, but that would block off dark. 8 and 9 could go here. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it could go down to here. It cannot block off this. Well, it actually couldn't reach there. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. So this adds up to 30 without a 2. Can you have 1? 1, 5, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so that's possible. We know orange is here. We know dark is here. So we need 2 out of medium green pink, or light, and they all work. This has medium. Okay, so this requires all four here. It requires green, pink. Okay, so then this cannot cut off. Okay, well, first of all, yeah, it cannot go down here. If it goes down here, okay, so first of all, it can't go down here, so this cannot be medium. Because if it goes down here, green is blocked from essentially getting a 7. So this cannot be, this has to be pink. So that's 3 pinks there. Pink needs access to one of these 5. Green needs access to one of these 2, obviously. Dark needs access to at least this. Huh. But it could be medium here and go dark that way. That's possible too. Okay. What other possibilities do we have then? I feel like I'm making good progress, so that's why I'm just continuing on. I don't want to start this off on another day because I feel like I'm actually making pretty decent progress. This is gray. If this is all green, it has to be like 1, 2 here, right? Or 1, 2 here. Hmm. Huh. This gray needs access to a 2 also. Well, it could be here. Could be any of these. So it needs access to something. It could be over here. Okay, cannot be any of these. Could be here. That's possible. Hmm. Okay, this cannot be 5 or 6. Okay, that's good. So because of that, this can't be 5 or 6. This has to be a 3-9 pair. Because again, remember, we tried all the possibilities. This has to be a 3-9 pair then, because this can no longer be 5 and 6, because if this is 2, 8, and 9, this has to be specifically 5 and 6. So this is 3, 9, which means this can't be 3 or 9. It's 2, which makes that a 2. That's a 3. These can no longer be 2 here. This can't be 9. This is an 8, which makes this not 8. So these 4 digits should add up to 26, which they do. These 3 digits add up to 20, which they do. Okay, this is 5 or 6. So there must be a 2 in one of these 2 cells here. So there's a 2 here and there's a 2 here. Gray cannot access any of the 2's here. So it must access one of these 2's here. And therefore, since it will do that, it will block off green from these cells. Therefore, this must be gray. So these 2 must be gray. This must be gray. So then gray cannot act. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need another one accessing. Ooh, that's not good. This has to be some 1 digit, which means this is 4 digits here. Okay, no, no, no. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Right. One of these two is a 2. One of these 3 is a 2, and one of these 3 is a 2. Okay, so green does need access to at least more than 2. So this cannot be gray. If these are gray, there's only one thing that can get access to it, which is not possible. So these cannot be gray. They have to be green. So we have a 2 in this green. The gray then needs to access one of these 3. But the green also needs to access one of these 3. Okay. So this is at least 5. I guess it could be 6, 7, 8, 9, but it cannot be all the way here, so this is not green. These digits are 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This can't be 7, though. This can't be 8. This can't be 3 or 8. I mean, technically, these could actually be even separate regions here, or separate, yeah, separate regions. We cannot have a dark, because then that's 3 regions here. So this is green or medium. This is 7 at most, but that's not helpful right now. What are the remaining digits in column 1? We have 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, 9. This can't be 2. This can't be 8. This can't be 8. 2 is one of those 3. This is 3 regions. We know we have a green. We know we have a pink. The question is, do we have a gray, medium gray, or a heavy gray? Actually, then, this... Okay, so can this ever go all the way here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If that's the case, the medium cannot be part of it, and this would be 8. I guess it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it cannot go to here, but it could go to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 does work, because this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that would work as a region. This is pink. This could be 7. Okay, so we need access to a 7 for the lights. We need 2, 3, and 7, but we don't know where those are. Whichever 5, 6, or 8 is... Huh. Hmm. 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 Okay, hold up. If you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you don't have access to all the 1s and 4s. We needed access to 2 1s and 4s, and none of these could be 1s or 4s. So it cannot get all the way here, right? If it does, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess it could go that way, then 8, 9. But, okay, so no. If it goes this way, I guess it could go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this would be 8, 9. Guess that's possible. Okay, so it cannot go all the way down here. That's ruled out because we need access to a 1 and a 4, and neither of these could be 1 or 4. This does have to be purple, so therefore you need access this way, which means this is purple. So these are purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we have 8, 9, 8, 8, 9, 8, 9. This cannot be pink. So any of these could be pink. This cannot be pink. If that were pink, you would have to have 8, 9, 10. So pink is one of these sets. Okay, that means these digits have to be, so we have access to, it could be 1, 4, 5, and 6. Or it cannot be 3, because 3 is removed. Therefore, one of these has to be at least a pink, or this one, right? This can't be 5 or 6, it's 1 or 4 here. This dark needs access to a 1 and a 4, at least. It could be these two, right? Could be these two. Okay, so could even be these, right? The pink needs access to a 3. So it has to go to either one of these places or one of these places. This cannot be pink. Oh, it doesn't have to be a 2. This could be the 2. Never mind. Okay, so this... I mean, I guess it could be... Okay. Green has to be at least 5 digits here, right? It needs access to a 7, and somehow it has to get here. So this has 5 digits, which means this has to be the 20-something. So that means the other two regions can only be single-digit sums. Okay. It's possible with 315 for the pink to have 3 digits, which it requires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It could do something like that. Except, so if it tried to do something like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The problem is, oh, I guess, never mind. It could just be pink here, and this would be light, so that's fine. This is definitely very hard. Where else can it go? Okay. Where is the light going to access a 2? It cannot access a 2 anywhere here or here, so it must be one of these two. Therefore, if this is dark, all of these would have to be dark, and they would block the access to the light. So this has to be light. This cannot be dark. But this could be the 2. We also need access to a 3 then. It could go this way. It could go this way. That's fine. It could go 7, 3 again. It could be 3, 3, 7, 2. That's fine. So This has to be light, then. The green is the 20-something. If this were... Okay, this cannot be medium anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has to go around 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is not medium. It could be something like that. That's possible. So this is either green or it's pink. What are these digits? They are not... Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It could be something like that. Hmm. Yeah, the gray needs access to 2. And only 2s would have to be here. So this cannot be 2. Because if it's 2, gray can't access it. Green already has a 2. So this cannot be 2. Which means both of these are 2. Where is the last 2? It has to be here. So this is a 2. Which means this can't be 2. This is 1, 4, 5, 6. No 7. Or it could be 9. Hmm. The green does need access to here or here. Can I extend to here? Hmm. So this dark. What are the remaining okay, so what are the remaining digits in row 2? We have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. This can't be 5 or 6. But these could be a lot of things. That ain't good. Um, hmm. Hmm. Um, Okay. Something needs to be 5. The light could be a 5 with 2 and 3. pink technically could be a 5 with just a 5. The gray, the medium gray, could be a 5 with a 5 or 2 or 3. Well, can it? No, it cannot be 5 with a 2 or 3. Huh. Because this can't be 2. And it would have to have either these two or these two. Well, it can't be these two. This can't be gray because this doesn't extend any further. So this cannot be gray any longer. It could be light though. Um, can this ever be gray is the question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that works. Can this be gray? I guess if the dark goes that way, right? Or it goes this way. Yeah, that works. Okay. This cannot be fully green, right? So if he tries to go all the way here, one of these has to be a 7 as a green. So this cannot be green because it would be with 1 and 2 at least. Actually, it would have to be 1 and 3. So this cannot be green, and this cannot be green. If it were to go here, it would be 7 and 1 then. If it goes here, it's 7 and 1. So that's the minimum. But we already, well, it doesn't have to. 1, 2, like, right. The 1 could be here, right? To add up to 30 with the gray cells, it's 1, 5, 7, 8, 9. Cannot be 2. It could be 3. Can it be, can't be 4, 5, 6. It could be 4, 5, 7, 9. Okay, so 1, 5, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, because that's 12 and 18. Oh no, it's 16. 3, 4, it would have to be 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. So 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. Those are the only threes, I think. 4, 5, 6, 9. No, that's 26. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those are all possible. Okay. Yeah, so again, 1, 5, 7, 8, 9. 3 with anything that adds up to 27 with 4 digits. So it'd be 4, 6, 8, 9. Or 5, 6, 7, 9. Or it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And those are the only possibilities. But that's pretty broad still. Okay. Can this gray ever not be the double digit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Maybe? Oh, no, it can't be all 3 of these. It can only be 2 of these at most. So it'd have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9? Or 9? Or 9? So yeah, the gray has to be the 20. That's interesting. It's 20 something. Which means it must be at least 3. Well, we already know it has to have at least 4. So, right, because if this is 5, again, it cannot be. It can only have 2 out of these, right? It could be those 2, or it could be those 2, right? At most. Hmm. Because you need 2 other digits to get a double digit number for green. So it's 2 at most here, which means how does it access this? So say it does these, right? It cannot go both of these because it can't block green, so it has to go there naturally, and then therefore it's always 4. So it'll always be double digits here. So this medium gray is the 30, and it's also 20 something. These can be 17 already. So that's kind of an issue. You could have 1, 5, 7 here, and then 8, 9. So there's no guarantee that this doesn't have to like have more than 2. We know it has 4. So everything else cannot be... Okay, so pink... Well, I could go pink here, right? That's fine. 2 digits. Dark... Okay, so dark cannot get all the way over here. That's the key. Right? If it dark is all the way here... I guess it could be 1, 4... 1, 4, 3? That could actually work. Uh, okay. Hmm. Yeah, so it still actually could go all the way here. Wait. No, it needs all 4 access. And if it goes all the way here, it will block pink from actually accessing this area. Okay, yeah, I could go this way. So if it goes all the way here, it blocks pink from ever accessing this 3x3 area. So this cannot work. This can't be dark. It could go this way, though. And again, it could be 1, 3, 4. It's fine. Green also needs to access it, but we already know it accesses one of these as a 7. Okay, so, well, could be 7 here, too. One of these is a 7. We're not sure which. For the green. Um... Interesting. We need a 7. So one of these is a 7 also. Or one of these are 7. Oh, where is the 7 in row 4? Can't be here because it sees that 7. Can't be any of these because they're pink. Can't be any of these, so this must be a 7 and cannot be pink. Um... Hmm. Could be dark, it could be light. We don't know. One of these is a 7 and it cannot be part of orange. Interesting. So none of these can be 7. So this can't be 7. None of these can be 7. So either this is 7 and with pink, or sorry, with light, or it's 7 here with dark. Or this could be 7 with dark, and this is the light, dark or light. So dark and light can no longer have a 7 elsewhere. Um, this could be pink as long as, yeah. One of these is 7, one of these is 7, one of these is 7. Okay. Hmm. Uh, um, hmm. Man, this is tough. Okay, let's continue. What else can we target? 20, right? We don't have a guarantee of 7. 7 does have to be one of these. 2 is one of the grays here. Oh, that's interesting. We have a guarantee 2 in one of these, which is not part of this 20. So that's 6. We can have only 3 more at most, which means this cannot be gray. Right? If that's gray, how does it access that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but then it doesn't have access to a 2. So this cannot be gray. It still could be pink, I guess. Green does have access to this. Dark must have access to this, but it could just go like that, right? So that's fine. Or it could just go like that, which it needs access to a 1-4 pair. So it could be 1-4 here, 1-4 here. So it could be 1-4 here, 1-4 here, 1-4 here. Those are all possibilities. Um, hmm. Something needs to add up to 15. Hmm. Hmm. If the pink is 3, it's 1-4, 3, right? The green has to be at least 5. So it's 2. So say it did go this way, right? Then this is green. This has to be 20 something. This would have to be a 2 here. And then like 1, 3. It cannot be 7 because that would be 7. It would have to be 2, 3. This would be a 2. These 5 would have to add up to 20, which they almost certainly could. Um, these 2 would have to add up to 15, or a double digits. Could this ever add up to 15 here? I don't think so, right? Oh, it would have to be 1568, which is not beginning with a 1. 5, 6, and 8 add up to 19 plus 1 is 20. So this can never be the 2 with the gray going to it. This has to be the 2, and the gray goes to there. Because otherwise, the only way to access this is going this way. Because otherwise, this green doesn't have access to a 7. So this is gray, and this is a 2. So this cannot be 2 here. This can't be 2 here. Therefore, this is a 2 here. Okay. So, if we had a light going here, light cannot be the 5. And if light went here, this would be double digits, which is not allowed. So this cannot be light. So one of these is dark, the other one is orange here. Similarly, this can't be, well, I guess it can't be light because it would only be one digit, and then this would have to be dark because it could not be both lights. So this cannot be light, this has to be a dark then. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 darks. We could have 7, 8, 9 still. um, so 3, well, it could be here. This could be 3, 7. Oh no, this cannot be 3, 7. So light cannot go this way and finish off there because it would block off dark from here, which is not allowed. So one of these is 7. One of these is 3. So either this is 3 or this is 3. So this cannot be 3 either way. Um, this then has to be green. It cannot be medium because if it's medium, it makes the green only one digit. This is 2. You must have the green go this way. So this must be green because you need access to the 7. So therefore this must be green. And one of these two is green. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So only one of these could be green. Or this. This cannot be green. Okay. This green must add up to... So this must be at least 15. Sorry, 11. Or 10 even. Could be 10. We know this is 7. Can this be green? If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it could be here. Right. It's one of these digits here. Okay. So we have 6 here. One of these is at least a gray, so that's 7. You can only go 8 and 9 then, or 8, 9. So this cannot be gray here. So one of these two is a 3 here. One of these pinks must be a 3 also. So the light needs access to a 3. The pink needs access to a 3. So the rest of the rows cannot contain a 3. That means the medium 3 so one of the other 2 3s have to be here, right? And they both belong to the dark and the medium gray, but we don't know what that is. hmm. Hmm. If it's either of these, it has to be 7 and 1 here. 7 and 1. If it's here, we don't know what it really can be then. What else do we have? Ugh. So the rest, well, okay. One of the pinks is a 3. So one of these is a 3. One of these is a 3. Um, these cannot be 7 anymore. Oh no, it could be with the gray. This can't be 7 because it's not gray anymore and it can't be green. These digits. What are the remaining digits here? 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. And those can be any of them. This can't be 8. So 8's either here or here. That's interesting. We have a single digit here. So that would work if that's pink, if that's light. So this could have been a 7 too, actually. But then we have 7 and 7 as other possibilities. Uh, hmm. Hmm. Uh, we have at most 3 other digits, but that's a lot. The other ones are single cell, right? They're single digit. So the 7 can only be with 1 if those are green. So if those are green, one of those is 1. That's interesting. This would then be 5, 6, 9, 5, 6, 8, or 9. 5, 6, 8, or 9. What if this were an extra 1? That means you would have just 7 here, which is fine. Pink, you could have 3 with any other digit. That's fine. So pink satisfies the single digit here. And dark could be 1 4, 1 3 4, 1 5, 1 6, something like that. If this is pink, okay, that's interesting. Okay, it cannot access pink here because then the dark has no access to the dark has no access to 1 and 4. Right? So this cannot be pink here, which means this has to be we need light. So we need 4. We have orange, we have dark, we have medium, and light. So those have to be the ones. So this is light. It's 3 or 7. We're not sure which one it is then. Either one of these is 3 or 7. We have to have access to medium. It could go this way. We don't know if it blocks here. If the light goes here, the problem is both of these have to be dark to get 1 and 4. But then you don't have 4 regions around it, so that doesn't work. So this cannot be light. This has to be then light here. So this is dark. This has to be 3. That makes this 6, which makes that 7. So this 7 is dark. Cannot be dark here. This is orange. So therefore, that's a region full. So this region is full. This region is full. 7 cannot be here. Whoops. 7 cannot be here. Which means one of these two is 7. One of these... This can't be 3. This can't be 3 anymore. So one of these 3 is 3 here. So pink has to be one of those 3, but it could access up to here. Okay, so one of these two must be medium. So it could go that way, which would be 1 4 1 4. It could go that way. Okay, so this is 1 2 3 4 5 6. We have access to 3 more. So this is, well, it could be 1 pink and 1 dark. We need a 5. So one of these, it cannot be 2 3. It cannot be 1 4. Because if it's both 1 4 here, that eliminates 1 and 4 as a possibility here, which means the dark doesn't have access to it. So it has to be a 5. So one of these is a 5, which means this cannot be 5 and this cannot be 5. This can't be 6. None of these can be 6. Okay. Oof. This is rough. Okay. What else do we have? This could be a 7 here also. $15. This is single digits. Okay, so this is 7 with either a 1 or it's by itself. The pink could work because three adds up with 1, 4, 5, and 6 to add up to less than a double-digit number. If this were pink, though, that's interesting. So if this was pink and pink, this has to be gray, which makes it a 5. This has to be dark. So this would be 3, 1, or 4. This would have to be 1, 4, 1, 4, which would force this to be 6. That seems okay. That would be 5. Yeah, so that's fine. If this is 3, I mean, any digit here would then be 1 or 4. This is 3 single digit, 6 single digit. This is double digit. We have a 5 here as this double digit. It cannot be 1, 4 because then I would eliminate all possibilities for dark to get a both 1 and 4. And so therefore it has to be 5. It can't be 2, 3 because none of the 2s and 3s are available here. So 5 would have to be one of those two. Interesting. One of these is a 5 here. Does that tell us anything? Not really. Oh, this can't be 9. Oh, jeez. This has to be 8. Probably people are like, what are you doing? This is 5 or 6. This is 8. These can't be 8. 7 can no longer be here. So it cannot be 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, adding up to 30. So this has to be, could it be, there's no 7 involved. So 3 could be with 4, 6, 8, 9. It cannot be, if you have 4, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. So therefore, it has to be 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. So 6 cannot be here. 5 cannot be here. So this can't be 5. 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, because you don't have access to a 7. So you need access to a 7 in one of the grays. This is 7. One of these two, these 3 is a 7. So this cannot be 7 because if this were actually it could be 7 for green. Okay. So then the remaining digits here, if it included this would have to be a 5. Right? Because 3, 4, 6, 8, 9 adds up to 30. If it includes that, that's 5. You would have a 7 and a 1 here. So this could add up to 20 with 3 and 9. 4 has to be here. This cannot be 4. 5 has to be one of these 3. This can't be 8. This can't be 8 here. Huh. Okay. This could be 3 and 6 adding up to 15 with 5. Wait, no, that doesn't work. You could only have 2, 3, 4, and 6, if that's the case. So therefore this would have to be 15 and would be 6 and 9. Seems reasonable. This could be 1 or 7. This could be 1 or 7. then this would be 4. Yeah, that's possible. Uh, hmm. Okay. This is 5 or 6. This is 5 or 6. Ah, 1 has to be one of these 3. Because 1 is one of these 3, this cannot be a green. Because if either of these are green, they can't be 1 anymore. Because this can't be 1 and this can't be 1. So one of these is green, and this one has to be green. So therefore, these can't be green. So this is gray here. So this cannot be this. It could be 7. This is specifically then 1, 5, or 7 here. Because it's, and this can't be green. So this must be the 7. So this is 7, which means this cannot be 7. This cannot be 7. Oops. One of these two is 7. This one of these two is 7. This can't be 7 here. So this must be, so we have 1, 2, so this is 5, 6, 8, or 9 as a possibility. Where is the 1 in this column? It has to be here. So this is 1, which means it cannot be green. So therefore this must be pink. That makes this a 4. That makes this a 6, which makes that a 5. Sorry, not green, it's pink. Which means it needs access to a 3. This can no longer be pink. This can no longer be pink. So this is 1, 5, which adds up to 6. That's fine. This can't be 5. This must be a 1. This 1 means this can't be 1, so this is 9. That means that can't be 9. This can't be 3 or 4 because of the 3, 4 pair now in the column. Therefore, this is a 6, which means none of these can be 6. This cannot be 6 anymore. Actually, it could be 6 because it could be that 6. This is 3 or 4. Okay, where is the 3, 4 in... Okay, so this then has to be have access here because that's the only space left for the green. So this cannot be gray. This is then 5 or 6, which means we have a 5, 6, 5, 6. Well, okay, we already knew that. This is 6. This can't be 9, so that makes this 8, which means these two add up to 12. So this is 4, this is 3. This can't be 3, so this is 4, which means this can't be 4 here. This can't be 1 because of this 1. This can't be 1 because of that 1. This can't be 8 anymore, so this becomes a 3-9 pair, which eliminates 3 and 9 in the rest of the region. Therefore, this is 8. This cannot be 8. This cannot be 8. None of these can be 8. This can't be 8. This adds up to 2, 3, and 9, which is 14. This must add up to 1, 5, and 9. So this is the only place for 1. So this is 1 to add up to 15, because this adds up to 14 only. This can't be 5. This has to be 6, which makes that 8. This is 6, 7, 2, and 8, which is 23. And if you add in 9, that would be 30, so that's not possible. So this is 5, which makes that 9, which makes that 3, which makes that 9. This 5 means this can't be 5, so this is 6, which makes that a 5. This can't be 8, cannot be 8. So this can't be 5 because of the 5 in the column. So this is 9, which makes that 5. Therefore, this is not 5 or 9. This has to be 6. This can't be 1 or 9. This can't be 9. So this is a 3, 5, 3, 5 pair. These can't be 9 or 3, so therefore this is 8, which makes that a 5. This 5 this can't be a 5, so this must be 3, which makes that a 5, which makes this the medium. So that's a region now. This can't be 3, 5, or 6, so this must be 9, which makes that 8, which makes that 9. This 9 means this can't be 9, so this is 4, which makes that a 9. This can't be 4 or 9, so it's 1 or 3. This is 1 or 3 also. This can't be 9. This is 4 or 7. This is 4 or 7, and it cannot be a medium. It's a dark. So it can't be 7. This must be 4, which makes this 7, which makes this medium. So this can't be medium anymore. This 7 means, well, okay. This 7 means this can't be 7. It's a 1-9 pair. This 9 means this can't be 9, so this is 3, which makes that 9, which makes that 1, which makes that 7. Therefore, this is a dark. Well, this has to be dark anyway, so this is already blocked off. This must be dark, and this must be pink. Whoops. Pink, which makes this 3, and that's a 1. Woo! That was hard. Let's check these. We have 2 in one region, and this should be 30. 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, right? 7 plus 23 is 30. This must be 15, 1, 5, 9, and 2, 3, 9 adds up to 14, which works. This is something that ends in 0 and a single digit. Single digit 7 works. 1, 4, 6, 2, 7 adds up to 20, which ends in a 0. This needs a 5. It has a 5 and 2 other single digits, which is 3 and 6, and then a double digit, which it is. This requires 3 single digits. 1, 4 adds up to 5. 3 adds up to 3. 7 is 7. And the other digits must add up to 20-something. So that's 5, 10, 25, which is 20-something. This is 21 in one region and a single digit in another region. That's 4. Or not 21. Something 1. So this is 9 plus 9 plus 8. That's 26. Plus 5 is 31, which is something 1. And that's a 4 is a single digit. This green is 20-something, which it is. 5, 6, 7, 8 is 26 plus 2 is 28, which is 20-something. And we have single digits here. 1 and 2 adds up to 3. 1 and 5 adds up to 6, which works. We have here a light digit, which must have something, a double digit, and then something 4. The 3, 6, 9 adds up to 18, which is a double digit, but doesn't end in 4. 3 is a single digit, which adds up to 3. We have 1, 6, 4, 5, and 8, which is 12, plus 7, which is 19, plus 5, which is 24, which is something 4. Here, 7, 7, 7, and 12. We have 3 and 4 adding up to 7, 7 here, and 4 and 8 adding up to 12. Here, we need 17, 18, and 2 single digits. 2 and 7 adds up to 9, which is a single digit. 1, 2 add up to 3, which is a single digit. 8 and 9 adds up to 17, which is 17. And 4, 5, and 9 adds up to 18. Here, we need 20 and 28. 3, 9, 8 adds up to 20. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9. That's 6 plus 6, which is 12. Plus 16, which is 28. Here, we need a 6, which we have, and then 25, which is 7 and 8 plus 10, which is 25. That works. This needs a 7, which is 3 and 4, and 4 digits adding up to 26, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, which is 13 times 2, which does add up to 26. And this one finally needs 1 that adds up to 5. We have 1 and 4. 1 that adds up to 9, which is 9, which does add up to 9. 1, 7, 8 adds up to 16. And after all that, that's how you solve it. That was pretty hairy. Oh man. All these, wow. That's a lot of things to go through. Very hard, definitely, but very satisfying too. Um, there's a lot of logic there. Lot of logic there. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Anyways, if you stuck through all the way to the end, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.